Hello everyone, my name is Erin, and I am the designer of the 2016-2017 Block of the Month, and this is January's Block of the Month, and it is called the Greek Cross. And you'll see here, the Greek Cross. It's got the cross in the middle, and then some half-square triangles in the corners. So just to continue, what we've been doing this year is showing examples of what kind of quilts you can create using just this block. So this first one has the border is the same fabric that's in those half-square triangles. And so this is just the quilt that's in a 4x4 layout, so 4 blocks across and 4 blocks down. Here's what it looks like if you include a skinny bit of sashing. Here it is if you enlarge the sashing a little bit. And here's what it looks like if you put in some contrasting cornerstones. Here it is in that 4x4 layout, but adding just a skinny strip of sashing around the outside. And here's what it can look like if you alternate the coloring of the blocks. And then this just includes a little bit of sashing and those contrasting cornerstones. Here's what it looks like if you put it on point. And this is what it looks like if you alternate the coloring of the blocks and put it on point. Here is the just one coloring of the block on point with, I think this is 2-inch sashing. And then here it is just with some contrasting cornerstones. So the cutting instructions for this block, I used 3 fabrics. My background fabric was white, and from that I cut 2 5.5-inch squares and 4 2.5 by 3.5-inch rectangles. From fabric 1, which is that blue fabric, it's like blue gem foxes is the fabric print that I used. One is 4, you're gonna have 1 4.5-inch square and 4 2.5 by 3.5-inch rectangles. And then from the fabric 2, the second print, which I'm calling pink giraffe because it's a giraffe print, you're gonna need 2 5.5-inch squares. You're going to start constructing the block by constructing some rectangle units. To do that, you're going to use the 2.5 by 4.5-inch rectangles, and you're going to sew those together into pairs. And you're going to repeat that process to make 4 total units of these. Next, you're going to move on to construct your half-square triangle units. You can use whatever method that you like, but this is the method that I prefer. Using a marking pen of choice and those 5.5-inch squares, you're going to draw a line from corner to corner. And you're going to do that just on the print fabrics. And then you're going to layer that print fabric on top of the background square, and you're going to pin. And then you're going to repeat that process with all of the other squares. On both sides of the line, you're going to sew 1/4 inch away. So you're going to create 2 lines of stitching. Once you do that, you're going to cut on the line, press open, and trim to 4.5-inch square. So whatever process you like to use to make your half-square triangles, do that and end up with a 4.5-inch square. So using the photo as a guide, you're going to lay out your block, and then you're just going to treat it like it's a 9-patch. You're going to first sew the rows together, and then when you press these rows open, you're going to want to alternate the direction that you press your seams from the first row to the second row, so you'll be able to nest them. Once you do that, you're going to nest your seams together and sew the rows together and press open, and you have one completed Greek cross block. And now I'm going to ask you, has this block looked familiar at all? Of course, if you've seen this block before, yes, it's probably looked familiar, but have we ever constructed a block like this? How about if I take the color away? What does that look like? It looks like the monkey wrench or the churn dash block. That's another name for it. So it's just the exact same block. It's just a different way of coloring the components. And so I challenge you in all the blocks that we've created to think about what would happen if you just change the coloring a little bit. Would that change the block into something else? Just a little food for thought there. If you have any questions, you can email us at corkips@gmail.com or check out the website at www.ipscork.com. You can find all of the instructions for the blocks there under the 2016 Block of the Month tab. We typically post the Block of the Month instructions 3 months after their debut because we ask members who come to the meetings to just cover the costs of photocopying. And so just as a courtesy to them, we post 3 months after the debut. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next Block of the Month.